So it says, it gives us our vertex. So that's great. That's going to be where we want to start. So we know the vertex is negative 3, 4. That's h and k, right? So we can sub that value in. Okay, so we have this for vertex form. Now we know it crosses through point negative 1, 6. So I'm going to write point negative 1, 6, and that's going to be what we sub in for y and x. So y is 6. X is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Squared is 4. So we get a is equal to 4a, sorry. 6 is equal to 4a plus 4. A is equal to 6 minus 4a is equal to 6 minus 4. A is going to be equal to 2 divided by 4, which is 1/2. Okay, therefore our vertex form is equal to 0.5 x plus 3 squared plus 4. That's our vertex. Okay, and now we want standard form, so we can just expand this. We're going to get three x and 3x is 6x plus 9. We need that 9. We need to multiply everything here by 0.5. That's our standard form. Okay, we got our vertex, we got our standard form. And now factored form, we could go ahead and factor this. Again, it's going to be quite long. We need to use the quadratic equation because we have a decimal already. So our two x values are going to be represented by this formula. X is equal to, and you're probably going to want to memorize this formula. I know it's long, but it's going to be very handy later on. Okay, that will give us our two x values. We'll end up with an equation that looks like this: x minus r and x minus s. Those two r and s come from this equation. Yeah. The discriminant. Discriminant. Okay. B. A parabola has a vertex at 5, 0 and passes through point 7, 11. Determine its form in vertex, standard, and if possible factored form. So again, this is the same thing as the previous example. We have the vertex, so we'll write out vertex form. X minus the x coordinate squared, right? Plus 0 we don't have to write, so that's our vertex form. Now we're going to sub in the point 7, 11 for x and y, so y is 11, and we're going to solve for a. So 11 is equal to a times 4. A is equal to 11 over 4. So our vertex form is that's our vertex. Okay. Standard form, we're just going to expand, right? we're going to have x minus 5 times x minus 5. We get x squared minus 10 x plus 25. That's our standard form. Yep.
We have to multiply everything by 11 over 4.
Yeah, you could. I mean, the first step is then to divide it out if there's something in common. But yeah, you're right. You could write this minus 25 times 11. What's that? Really, standard form you can leave like this, though. It's just with the factored out, the 11 over 4, which is common. So then, to get your factored form, you would then use your quadratic equation. Again, because we're dealing with decimals. So x, whereas negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. And really, guys, the only way you're going to be able to do this is if you practice the homework, working with this equation. Right? Your b value is here, your a value is here, and your c value is here. You plug in those values into this formula and work it out. I don't have the physical space here to do it, but that's the only way you're going to be able to do this is if you practice over and over again using this formula. We could use the discriminant and find out right away if it's possible to solve. If this is a negative number, it won't be possible. If it's positive, we have 2 x-intercepts. And if it's 0, we only have 1. Okay? Example 7. Volunteers at a food bank are arranging a concert to raise money. They have to pay a set fee to the musicians plus an additional fee to the concert hall for each person attending the concert. So the relation P equals negative n squared plus 580n minus 48,000 models the profit in P in dollars for the concert, where n is the number of tickets sold. So right away, you guys should have an understanding of how this parabola looks. Who can tell me how it would look? What would it look like, just based on the a value? A value is negative 1. Yeah, Lucas? Yeah, it's going to open downwards. Okay, so we know there's some sort of relationship here of profit and the number of people, where if there's like too little people, you don't make a lot of profit. If there's too many people, you don't make a lot of profit. So there's some sort of sweet number here at the vertex that's going to make you the most money. Right? We know all of that just based on what it said, the a value. Okay? We also know that the graph is relatively like normal because the a is negative 1, so we know it's not like super thin. We know it's not super wide like this. It's relatively like a normal parabola. The step pattern is 1, 3, 5, right? So it says determine the number of tickets they must sell to maximize profit. So what would that be? What would that be? The number of tickets they need to sell to maximize profit. Taylor, what do you think? Sorry? Yeah, we got to find the vertex. You're right. So the number of tickets would be the number of people going, right? So it's asking for the x value of the vertex. That's what it's asking about for a roundabout way of this formula. All right? So the x value of the vertex. So how do we find the x value of the vertex? Andrew has that cool nifty formula. The x value of the vertex equals?
X minus b divided by 2a.
Yeah, that's it. And we know what b and a are here. It's negative 1 for a and 580 for b, right? So we can just plug that in. We get negative 580 over 2 times negative 1, and we get 290. That's the x value of the vertex. So they know if they sell it to exactly 290 people, 290 tickets, they're going to make the most money. Any questions there? What is the maximum profit now? Determine the maximum profit. Well, that's the y value of the vertex, right? So we take this number and do what with it? Multiply it? Oh, we sub it in, right? We sub it back in. So you're going to sub it in for n, here and n here. So your profit is going to be equal to negative 290 squared plus 580 times 290 minus 48,000. That's going to give us, if you plug it all into your calculator, you should get 36,100. That's our maximum profit. That's B. This is A. And finally C. The number of tickets they must sell to break even. So what is that on the graph? Break even. Yep. Yeah, the zeros. When profit is zero, you're not making any money, you're not losing any money. So right here and right here, these two numbers. Okay, so in other words, the zeros, right? So how do you figure out the zeros? Anybody? Yeah.
Plug in 0 where n is or x.
Where n is for x? No. That's what it's asking. The number of tickets, that is x, the number of tickets. You can't plug in 0 for that. If they sell 0 tickets, they make zero profit.
0y.
Sorry, you're right, actually. If they sell 0 tickets, they'll make no profit. They'll probably actually lose money, though, if they make it. Yeah.
Plug in some y.
No, you got to factor it, right?
Oh.
If you factor it, you'll get the 2 zeros. Right? So we need to factor this equation. That equation we need to factor. So what are the values? Our A value is -1, our B value is 580, and our C value is -48,000. Now, you can't probably do this in your head with the x. There's going to be way too many combinations. So what do we need to use?
The graph. Formula.
Yeah, what's it called?
The quadratic formula.
Quadratic formula. That's what we have to use, unfortunately. Okay, let's do it. Let's go all the way through. I think I have enough paper here. We can try it. Okay, x is equal to -b. So b is 580, -580, plus or minus the square root of 580 squared, minus 4 times a is -1, times c is -48,000. All of that, not just the square root over, but everything, even the front part, all over 2a, and a is -1. Okay, so we'll leave the 580, can't do much there, plus or minus the square root. Now let's do all this on your calculator. If you can punch that in, should give me a big number, maybe. Not big. What is it? Anybody doing this for me? 580 squared minus. Oh, this is pretty bad.
144,400.
Okay, 144,000. 400.
Yes.
Okay, I bet that's going to be like 12 or something like that, 1,200 or something like that. if I square root it all over negative 2. Let me just confirm your math here. 580 squared minus 4 times 48000. Yeah, I got the same. Good. So we take the square root of that. $380, right? Agreed, Alan? Square root of 1444400 is 380. Okay, so we're almost there. So our x value is going to be equal to 580 plus 380. These are the two x values. Negative 580 plus 380 over negative 2. Or x is equal to negative 580 minus 380 over negative 2. Any questions there? Why I have 2 now? Yeah?
How did you get 4 1? How did you get 14440?
By doing this on my calculator. 580 squared minus 4 times 48,000. Make sure you get all your negative signs in there. Okay, so negative 580 plus 380 is negative 200. Divided by negative 2 is 100. Or negative 580 minus 380 is negative 960 divided by negative 2 is equal to 480. So, what's that tell us? The number of tickets they must sell to break even is 100 tickets or 480 tickets. Both of those values will have them break even. Make sense? I hope. It's getting harder, eh? It's getting harder. You gotta do the homework. I can't make it all make sense in the small window that I got. You gotta do the homework. And you gotta ask questions from the homework. Okay, moving on. Everyone's got that? Last example. Here we go. I want to do 2 lessons today. It's not happening. We'll get through this one. A water balloon is catapulted into the air so that its height h in meters after t seconds is that. How high is the balloon after 1 second? What can I do here? How can I figure that out? Yeah, Adrian.
Substitute 1 into t.
Yeah, 1 into t. Sounds good to me. 1 second, I'll sub in 1 for t, and we'll find out what the height is. $24.5. That's our height after 1 second in meters. So 24.5 meters after 1 second. All right. Find the times when the balloon is at a height of 20 meters above the ground, round to the nearest tenth of a second. How do I figure that out? Engineer, what do you think? Sorry? What I just said. Find the time when the balloon is at a height of 20 meters above the ground. How do I figure that out? It's not hard. It's not a trick question. No need to break anything down. We're gonna do some subbing again. Yeah. Yeah, we sub in the 20 for the h and find out what the time is. Good. So we'll sub in 20 for h. And we need to solve for the time. Okay. We're going to have a problem with standard form. We need to Are we? Let's see. Can we do this from standard form, or do we need to go into a different form? Yeah, we're gonna have to factor it. I was trying to get away from that formula. It's not happening. So we have this. Sorry, let me just back up here. There we go. So we've subbed in 20 for H. Now we need to move everything into standard form. So we're gonna have 4.9 t squared plus 27 t, and we're combining the 20 and the 2.4, so we get plus 22.4 equals 0. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the 20, I got that wrong. The 20, when it comes over, becomes negative, so this becomes plus 17 point, sorry, negative 17.6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Thank you. I knew something was wrong. All right, now we have our A value. We have our B value. And we have our C value. Okay, we need to put it into our quadratic equation. So one way we can find is, the first thing we can find is the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. So we get 27 squared minus 4 times negative 4.9 times negative 17.6. And that all works out to 384.04. That's our discriminant. Now we'll sub that into our formula for x, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of our discriminant, which is 384.04, all over 2 times a, and b is negative 27. All right, so we're going to get two values for x there. We're going to get our x1 value. If you plug all this in your calculator with a plus sign, you're going to get 0.8. You plus it all in with a negative sign, you're going to get 4.8. So the two times that the balloon is 20 meters above the ground is at 0.8 seconds and 4.8 seconds. Okay? So this is a graph that looks like this, and the two times here and here that it crosses 20 as your height is 0.8 and 4.8. Those are the two times that your balloon crosses 20 meters in height. Okay? Questions there? Next, for how long is the balloon more than 30 meters high? So, this question is asking if here's our parabola and this is 30 meters, it's asking for this amount of time here and here, right? This time minus this time. So basically what we need to do is we need to sub in 30 for the height now, find out the two values of when it's 30, and then subtract them to find out how long it stays above 30. Right? Make sense? So we're going to plug in 30 again for our h, and we get, going to combine the 2.4 and the 30. We're going to get minus 27.6 equals 0. Okay. Now we have A is negative 4.9, B is 27, and C is negative 27.6. We're going to solve using the quadratic formula once again. So x, or in this case not x, but t, is going to be equal to negative 27 plus or minus the square root of b squared, 27 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a. A is negative 4.9. This will give you two answers for t. T1, I'm going to cut a little bit here. Shortcut is t 1.4 and t2 is 4.2. Okay, so if those are the times 1.1 and 4.2, how long is it above 30? Well, you need to do 4.2 minus 1.4, right? This is t2 minus t1. So we're going to end up with 2.8 seconds. That's how long it is above 30 meters. What is the maximum height of the balloon? So this is asking for the vertex, right? The y value of the vertex. Y value of vertex. Okay, so we can get the x value with our formula negative b over 2a. So negative 27 over 2 times negative 4.9. This will give us 2.75. You take this value, which is the x value of the vertex, you plug it in for t, and that will give us the height. Sorry? So we work this out. 49. You guys should be trying this on your calculator right now. Make sure you get the same answers as me. What'd you guys get? Anybody? What'd you get, 90? 90 point? Anyone else get that? $293, yeah, that's what I got too. But I somehow got I got 293 as well. Mine was negative. That's got to be a problem. Oh, I had 49 there. It should have been 4.9. That was my mistake. My bad. Sorry about that. It should be negative 4.9. That's where I went wrong. I had 49.
So I got 39.5.
Okay, I'm just going to try that. Yeah, 39.59. So 39.6 meters. That's correct. All right. When the balloon burst, when will the balloon burst as it hits the ground? So this is asking for the x value, right? When y equals 0. So it's asking for the zeros, or the x-intercepts, or the solutions, or the roots. It's asking for all those things. It's asking for the second one, right? When it hits the ground, when the balloon hits the ground. Okay? So, how would we go about doing this one? Basically need to factor it again, right? We just take the equation and we factor it. As is, we introduce the height as 0 and we just factor it, where A is equal to negative 4.9, B is equal to 27, and C is equal to 2.4. Okay? We plug those into our formula. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay, and you're going to get two values for X, in this case T, right? We're talking about the time. So we actually get a negative value for one of them, negative 0.1, and the other time we get 5.6 seconds. So obviously it can't be the negative times. This one does not work. It has to be 5.6 seconds. So when will the balloon burst as it hits the ground? At t equals 5.6 seconds. Okay, and that comes from using this equation again. So you can see in these word problems, the quadratic formula is coming up quite often. If you're not comfortable with using